Hey, welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Cody. Today we're going to be taking a look at EV stocks. We're going to look at why they're exploding and why they continue to go up. Is this a bubble? Is this a big opportunity? What do you need to know about why these EV stocks are absolutely exploding right now? With that being said, let's jump into it. So if you've been watching the stock market, you will have noticed that the stock market has seen some gains in the last little while, but the industry and the sector that has seen the biggest gains over the past 7 to 10, maybe 14 days or so is definitely in the electric vehicle space. Every single company out there, from Tesla to NIO to Xpeng to Blink to Switchback Energy, which is going to be the new chargepoint company. I mean, all of these companies are absolutely exploding, and there's a lot of money pouring into these. So what I want to talk about here in the video today is, first off, who's investing in these companies, right? I do think that there's a lot of hedge funds, there's a lot of large investors out there who are investing in these companies because they are definitely the hot commodity right now. I know that a lot of this is being driven, one, just because EV stocks have been such a big demand over the past little while because there's been a big opportunity in it, and a lot of people are looking for the next Tesla. Then couple that on the fact that Tesla got announced to be joining the S&P 500, and now everybody else is picking up on that as well. Tesla's seen over $100 gain over the past week or so since that news was announced, and now all these other companies are picking up on it as well. So a lot of people are pulling out of those recovery type stocks, you know, the Cheesecake Factory, the Delta Airlines, the cruise lines, whatever it may be, and they're actually moving their money back into tech, or they're moving it back into these EV stocks. I think with the way that the economy is going, everybody's realizing, okay, we've got a vaccine coming for this particular illness that we've been going with, but a lot of people are still saying they're not going to take it. So that recovery curve might be a little bit longer than a lot of people are anticipating. So with that being said, a lot of people want to jump onto the EV train and pick up on some of these massive gains that we're seeing lately. With a lot of the hedge funds that are going into these deals, there's also a lot of retail traders. A lot of retail traders are jumping into this, and to be honest, they're probably not really looking into the company. I'd be surprised if a lot of these people could even name some of the cars or vehicles that these people actually have, if they've even released a vehicle, and where they're at in that production line, right? Have they actually started releasing vehicles? Do they actually have sales? Do they actually have anything to show for it? You know, one of the problems that I have a big issue with is that there's companies like Nikola out there who still haven't released a single truck. You know, there's companies like Rivian who haven't released anything. Yeah, they just came out with the ability to customize your vehicle, but they still haven't released anything yet. It's hard to actually put something into place and see if it's actually going to work and if there's going to be demand for it until they actually start producing vehicles. This is why when it comes to EV companies, I'm a super big bull on Tesla, I'm big bull on NIO and Xpeng, because they actually have some different results to actually show for what they're actually selling. With that being said, what I want to do here in the video is actually take a look on my phone here with you guys at some of the massive gains that these companies have gone through, and also share some of my thoughts with you along the way. So as we jump into this here on my phone, we are going to be using the Webull platform first to actually take a look at some of these stocks, and then we'll jump over to Robinhood as well, which, by the way, if you haven't gotten your free stocks with Webull, make sure to click on the link down in the description below. Get those free stocks. It's a good help for you. You get a couple of free stocks. I get a couple of free stocks for being an affiliate of the company, and it's actually the second biggest brokerage account that I use. I think Webull's got a great platform, especially if you're looking at trading options. I'm going to be doing a video on that here in the future, you know, trading options on Webull versus on Robinhood, and the differences, pros and cons between the two. So definitely check that out if you're interested in doing something like that. So anyway, looking here are my positions on this account. First thing I want to notice or point out is that Xpeng is up 4% after market. But look at how much they're up just on the day. Just on the day, they're up almost 40% total. You know, looking back, they opened the day at like, what, $54, $56, somewhere in there. And they absolutely exploded up to $72. This is absolutely insane. I think this is the biggest one that surprises me. I've actually thought they were going to come back down. You know, over the past 5 days, they're up 70%, and they're just absolutely exploding right now. So I actually thought they were going to come back down and see a little bit of a pullback, but instead they just continued to explode even higher. Now their stock price is actually sitting higher than NIO's, even though NIO is a little bit further along in the, you know, in their company life cycle, I would say. So even though the market cap is still smaller, at least last I checked it was, Xpeng actually has a share price that's actually higher. That surprises me a little bit because I think there's a lot of people who are trying to invest in these companies and are not necessarily looking at the financials of the company. They're not looking at balance sheets or the cars or any of that process. They're basically just looking, hey, EV's hot right now. Let's jump in, just buy whatever you can, right? And so this has skyrocketed to $72. I'm a little bit surprised because I thought people would kind of funnel into NIO and actually see a bigger growth there, because you can see here on the screen, volume up here in the top right is 1.18 million. For trading volume. And if we jump over to NIO, which I do own shares in as well, this sits at 2 million. So it's a little bit surprising here to see that this is at $55. And again, like I said, I think the market cap is even higher on NIO still, but it's just surprising to see that Xpeng has skyrocketed past that, just because there are so many people buying into this without actually knowing anything about PE ratios or how much revenues or profitability or anything like that. So it's a little bit surprising, but nevertheless, here we are. So NIO also had a big gain today. I think they're up about 10%. If we look back, they opened the day about $49, and they're now up to 55.38. So they're up about 16% after hours, which is absolutely phenomenal. And as a shareholder, I'm actually really happy. This account that I hold mostly these stocks in. You can see here that I've got Xpeng, I've got Tesla, I've got a little bit of Square in this app. I got Snap as a free stock. When I joined Webull, that was the free stock that I got, and at the time it was like $8, and now it's exploded to $45. So pretty happy about that. But I do only own one share right there. My whole strategy with this is, look, if I can get exposure in a lot of these different companies, even if only one of them is successful and pulls ahead, I think that I can at least 10, if not 20x my money on at least one of these companies over the next 5 to 10 years. And even if all the others go bankrupt, that's okay. I'm still going to be all right. So that's kind of the strategy I'm taking here. And I think the strategy that you need to be careful with if you're thinking about taking the same strategy is, don't be looking to day trade these things. Get in them for the long term. Really dive into the fundamentals of the company, find out what they're doing, who's ordering these vehicles, where they're going to go, and what you're going to see happen over the next 5 to 10 years with these companies. I think it's extremely risky to actually be investing in them. If you're looking to day trade or you're just looking to turn a quick profit, I think it's going to be a little bit tough to do that. Before we leave here, look at this. I had a couple of call options on Switchback Energy, and they've just rallied massively. I actually had a couple of call options here that I sold off. I actually bought 3 contracts of this and had a massive gain of about 600%. I sold off 2 because, pigs get fat and hogs get slaughtered. I didn't want to get greedy. I thought, man, 600%, I'm going to cash out right now. I'd spent like $115 on each of these contracts for each one. And the total profit, over 600% on those 2 that I sold. I think I cashed out like $1,600. So I'm still letting one run, and look at that, it's up 761%. So pretty crazy right there. So if we jump over to Robinhood, this is what I actually want to look at, is some of the EV stocks over here and how they've done on the day. So as you can see, I think Tesla is really the main company that is leading this charge. I think Tesla being included in the S&P 500 shows that there's a lot of potential in the market and shows that there's going to be a lot of future success. So Tesla is definitely number one. We've also got Blink Charging up huge, Switchback Energy up huge, BYD up huge, Xpeng, NIO, Lee, all of these companies are up huge. So guys, is this a big opportunity or is this a big bubble? Well, if you look at the actual numbers of these companies, it looks like as these stock prices continue to climb and climb and climb, that we're getting further and further ahead into what I would consider a bubble. I get the excitement in these stocks. I get that there's going to be a lot of growth and opportunity, but keep in mind that Tesla does have a massive head start when it comes to this space. They've already got their autopilot dialed in, and they've already got the EV space dialed in as well. So they're on a much further ahead schedule than a lot of these other companies. However, these other companies are picking up growth just because Tesla has charged the way and shown that this is a viable industry that's going to be around for the long term. The things that I love about Tesla is they're expanding beyond just the EV space, and I think a lot of their value actually comes from the autopilot. It comes from the self-driving. It comes from the solar or from the insurance, these other industries that they're going to be able to break into. And so far, a lot of these other companies don't even have a vehicle in a lot of cases, or they haven't broken into these other industries as well. They're strictly focused on the EV space. And I think that the EV car is not really the benefit to this actual sector. I think a lot of it comes from the autopilot, a lot of it comes from the full self-driving, and a lot of it comes from the data that comes along with that, right? The robo-taxis, everything like that. So just be careful if you're investing with these. It is going to be a long-term run, and it is something you need to invest in for the long term. Otherwise, because I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these stocks pull back here in the next little while as we go into the end of the year. I think there's going to be a big pullback in a lot of these stocks as people start taking profits and start cashing out. And to be honest, I'm even considering cashing out. You know, my Xpeng stock is up like 200 or 300% already, and I think that there could be an opportunity to actually cash out of this and just take a quick profit, right? I wasn't able to build out a big enough position to really make a big difference, but I figure, hey, you know, I can make a couple $1,000s off my small position on this. I don't know. I'm kind of tempted. I'm kind of not. You know, I kind of want to hold on. So I don't know where this is going to go, but we're just going to let it ride for the next little while, see how things go, and see how things shake out as we get a little bit of consolidation here in the space. So with that being said, guys, I know that I was kind of rambling here in this video, but I hope you enjoyed it. I just wanted to share some of my thoughts on the EV stocks that absolutely blew up today. And also, I want to get your thoughts. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are on these different companies. I hope that if you're in this space, you're seeing and enjoying these massive gains. If you're not, don't get FOMO and don't go all in on these stocks just yet. I do think there's a big risk of a potential bubble here, and I think there's a big risk of a pullback. So let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Give me a thumbs up here on the video, and we'll catch you in the next one.